So I am Dr. Tony. I'm a chiropractor locally. Welcome back, everybody that made it. Made it, right? Okay. And my talk today is going to be how do we sit properly, not like this is just me sitting. How do we stand properly? How do we move properly? How do we worry about our posture? And it starts up here. How do we get our brain to reset if we don't have good posture to better position? I deal with patients that may have a sitting job 8 hours a day. May have a commute to LA every day, which is painful. May have to deal with kids on the floor, have to work down here all day long. Or a chef or a cook that's over a counter all day. How do we get our bodies, wherever our stressors are to our body, to reset better position? Because with better posture, this is why chiropractors talk about posture so much. Your better posture allows your body to work efficiently. Your bones are more dense material than your muscles, correct? They're thicker material, they're harder material. When you allow your bones to work at a better alignment, better curve of the body, we call them curve or alignment, your body can actually work efficiently so your muscles relax. They relax, your joints stay loose, your muscles actually get stronger. By having better position, better posture, sitting or standing, then your joints can actually stay free like a moving joint. Muscles, if the joint's free, the muscles can lengthen, then get stronger on their own. If the muscles get stronger, does it have more endurance over time? Do you understand what endurance is? Endurance is able to not just stand, but stand for 2 hours at a time, then 3 hours and 4 hours and 5 hours to endure that length of time of standing or sitting or walking around. You get that longer over time by making your muscles stronger by having better position, better posture. Okay? To start, good sitting posture. We're all know. You guys, B plus, B minus, B. Grade level. Okay? So, B plus because what I like to see here is getting yourself away from the back of the chair. That's just decoration, okay, people? That's decoration. That's all it is, back of the chair. If we're going to sit for long periods of time and sit, especially using our arms and hands, say on a keyboard or a mouse or whatever we're doing, you want to sit in the first third of the chair. First third. So scoot forward more. And we want to do is have, if our legs are here, which I see a lot of times, I work with people that actually work in office buildings still, and they're given from their ergonomic department, the person, whoever that person in charge, they have a stool in front. They're said, use the stool to put your feet out here, so that stool has a purpose. I don't see it. I don't get it yet. That stool allows your body to do this. Is that good posture? No, right? I want my hips to be below my knees below my hips, my body's going to be here to start. If that feels good, then I'm going to do my feet even below here, so I'm on my toes, and I'm balancing on my butt bone mission tuberosities here, instead of wanting to use more of my tailbone here. See, this allows your spine to curve naturally lower back. Now you're having to lean back more, hold your body back. As you go into extension, called leaning back or extension, our body naturally will contract to make those muscles stronger. It's active sitting. I did a talk with a gentleman from Vermont. He invented a chair. It's more like a gravity chair, to where if you don't sit properly, you're going to fall off the chair. So you have to almost sit properly on the chair. At that point, your body relaxes here. You go, oh, that feels good. It takes time to get here, though. This doesn't feel good where you can sit up. What I mean by sitting up, so you can see in the back row too. Here, instead of being here, it's coming and bringing your back up this way. So now your pelvis will tilt forward. So now your upper back feels like it's leaning back more over time. Does that feel weird, awkward, different, uncomfortable? Just say yes. We have to learn a better position. So now here, over time, as muscles get stronger, these muscles stay strong. They pull us here, keep our body here. So one thing I tell people is just lean back. Put your feet underneath that chair if you can, based on your whatever chair you have at home or at work, where your feet are underneath you here instead of being in front of you. So you may start just here. Feels okay. This feels too much. So wherever you are, feel a little comfortable doing that different position, so then your body can relearn where it should go versus what it's used to. All of us get lazy. I want to sit back in the chair. I do this, close my eyes, and also my wife goes, "You're snoring again." I'm like, "I know I'm snoring. Leave me alone. I'm good here." But can we actually, over time, as we're working, stay here? That point, if we're here, it doesn't affect just our lower back and hips, it affects our neck and shoulders too. Our body's going to stay back, so our head, it's called a plumb line, should line up with the seam of your shirt, and also your shoulders should line up with your hip. So we're back here, instead of being here. By doing that, then our shoulders, instead of rolling forward and coming here, now your shoulders roll backwards, so you separate your ear and your shoulder more by having the head come straight back. And what I mean by straight back, some people do this, yeah, I'm back. No, we want to go straight back with the chin, not tilt the chin. So go straight back, so now our body's back here, where right now it's uncomfortable because we're not used to it. Over time, as you stay here and move here, it takes about 3 to 4 weeks for your brain to recalibrate where your body should be. Right now, if I'm like this here, your brain is telling you that's your straight, that's your normal, that's your good. We have to make your good different by feeling uncomfortable. Once we're uncomfortable, I had a patient this morning come in, he's doing physical therapy. He's having to work on his balance more. They have him on a platform where there's a ball in the middle. He has to balance, it feels really uncomfortable. He says it feels really uncomfortable. I go, fantastic. That's how your brain will reset faster when you're uncomfortable. We have to feel like we're off to want to rechange that over time. We're doing it day after day. It takes about 3 or 4 weeks, like I said, so I can actually see that overall change. Okay? So just to reset one more time, sitting posture. What we want to do is make sure the first third of the chair, knees below the hips, feet underneath is where it's comfortable, so now we have to lean back. So these muscles in your lower back, right, your belt line start to fire, your shoulders start to come back too, and your head, it translates backwards, goes straight back and doesn't tilt. Alright, does that feel like you hold that for like 10 hours? No. It takes time to get there. It's easier to change your posture position by movement. At that point your brain has to work harder to cause things to move better. Okay? So what you want to do is next, as part of this, is next position is going to be standing posture. Okay. Who wants to demonstrate standing posture? Any volunteers today? Anybody? Nobody yet? All right, I'll watch. Yep, come on up. There's always someone. Well, by volunteering, you get more specific help for you. You're going to feel what's going on. Which I'll demonstrate first. I'm going to have to go against the wall over here. And just go where you feel comfortable. All against the wall. Does that feel okay? Good. So what I'm going to do is put your heels against the wall, hips, shoulders, and head. How does that feel?
Awkward.
Fantastic. I love awkward. It's like being on a first date or something. I don't know. But it allows your body to reset. We have walls in Upland. You have to pay a lot of money to get permits, right? So they make the walls pretty straight. Can we use this to reset your posture over time with your heels, hip, shoulder, and head to hold your posture for about 30 seconds at home, so now your body can reset your standing posture. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay? That point, by doing that, your body can reset, so then take a step forward. Put the weight on your heels. That's good standing posture off the wall. Magic.
Okay.
Does that feel weird? Awkward?
Yeah, it does.
Fantastic. Good. We want to feel weird, awkward when we come off the wall. The weight on your heels allows you now to reset everything back here. So at that point, your body has to lean back more here, so it feels like it's falling back. Because we're not going to fall back. Our brains go, oh, we have to hold ourselves up. These muscles fire, these muscles fire, these muscles fire to hold our body from falling forward. Falling backwards, sorry.
Yeah.
Does that feel weird?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Love it. Thank you for volunteering. Grab a seat. Okay. So when we're standing there, again, we want to have our heels, hip, shoulder, head against the wall. Right there. Some people will say my back hurts. My low back hurts. That's because your body's too far forward this way. I'm exaggerating, of course, but at that point, your body's too far forward. If I come back too far, it may feel okay here. It may feel uncomfortable here. It may feel like it's sore here. That range of where you are normally, where your normal is, will dictate it's going to be uncomfortable or painful. So if you feel like you come against the wall and you feel like it's painful, back yourself off a little bit. Give yourself time to get used to it. Okay? If you feel, for example, you're on the wall And now the upper back hurts here, same thing. Our body's doing this. Upper body's doing this from probably sitting poorly, whatever it might be. So get that shoulders come back slowly over time as you feel comfortable, better. You may feel one shoulder blade, left or right side, is more, there's more pressure, more soreness. That means your body's rotating left or right. So there's a rotation component in your back, there's rotation you're sitting or standing. It makes things also rotate, but also bend too. So you may look at yourself and against the wall and go, how come I feel my left side might be tighter in my back, but at that point also my body's going to rotate left or right, it's going to drop a shoulder higher or lower. So you got to watch everything. When you're standing, when you're walking, when you're setting your posture in a stationary position, are my shoulders higher or lower? What's causing that? So you want to walk through your body and go, okay, it's one chain, right? From the back of your neck to your tip to your hips. At that point, we want to make sure that whole chain is in front. If I'm doing this with my shoulders and hips, my shoulders up here, that means my shoulders doing this, my left shoulder is coming down, my left shoulder blade is coming back toward the back of me, behind me. That means my body is also rotating to my left. That makes my hips do this, so I feel I'm more balanced. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Our brain has to want to find a center of gravity, a balance point. If I'm doing this here, it's going to do this to compensate. The hips will shift the opposite way, help everybody feel a net zero change left to right. Any questions about that? I have patients that have a shoulder injury, for example, shoulder injury or shoulder surgery. They may do this for 3 or 4 months. What's that do to the neck? Makes you want to favor that side, so now your neck's going to bend, shoulder's going to drop over here, and upper back's going to start doing this to compensate. Same thing, I'm going to be here. That's more work for me. So by doing that and understanding where your body is, can we adjust? Because what's going to happen when you have this, that position of bending to your left-hand side, now you're going to have upper back pain, maybe even hip pain here or hip pain here. The problem is in here initially, it's this problem first. So my job is to go, okay, what's the person's complaint, where their pain is, and is their posture either causing that problem, short-term, long-term, or an effect of that problem? When you look at someone's posture, if you can correct their posture alone, it may minimize where the pains might be. So look at someone's body as a physician or a chiropractor, whatever you want to call me. At that point, I look at the whole person. Okay, what's going on? If you've had pain for more than 3 or 4 weeks, it's chronic pain. How's your body adjusted to pain? If I have back pain, I'm going to naturally do this to compensate. If I have it long enough, it feels better. If I have neck pain, I'm going to naturally do this to compensate. It feels better. And then that point, I go, okay, we're taking care of the back pain, but now that your posture's off, you can reset your posture, it doesn't come back again. And then lock it in that way. Okay? Walking posture. Okay, this is after you set your sitting and standing posture. The next thing is how do you walk? How do you move? Okay? So what I want to do, demonstrate first of all, when I do this with my patient, I'm going to pin against the wall first. Let's stand there. And what's your name again?
Yvonne.
Yvonne? Like Yvonne did a second ago, we're going to go from a standing posture here. We're going to come off the wall. We're going to stand there for a second with weight on your heels so we learn where our body has to reset itself. From here, now we're going to do is from standing, we're going to go from one side to the other. We're going to take a step with our head up, right? If I'm down here, what's going to happen to my neck? My shoulder's going to come up, my body's going to hunch forward. I come down Euclid Avenue every day. At that point, I see people walking like this, chipper, people like this walking like this. If I walk like this with my body hunching forward, it's going to lock in this position as my normal. This is your position. We have to unlock it and reset it where our head's up. Looking straight ahead with our eyes, looking down with over our nose to see what's in front of us. Again, use common sense. You know, but if I'm in a place where I know where the walking path is and it's safe, on my head up here, so when my head is up and looking straight ahead, that's when my body can stay back on my heels, not lean forward. Once your head comes down and looks down, tilts forward, at that point our body will naturally shift into a hunch position. We have to be able to avoid it over time by keeping our body up here. So if I'm going to walk, I'd rather slow down, head up here, keep my body straight and walk heel to toe. So I'm walking like this the whole time. Okay? What do you think? How do you think people walk differently that that helps your posture stay this way? What happens, you think? Do people walk on their toes more or more on their heels normally? When they have poor posture or standing or walking postures. When their toes, right? I will naturally lean forward and walk like this on my toes because that's where my center of gravity is. On here, my chin's here, my head's here, and naturally has to go right at my toes so my body sits back here. Once I come forward and bring my body up, naturally I'm going to shift back to my heels. But it takes time to get there. What I recommend people doing is at home to start, say your posture on the wall, 30 seconds. Head back, shoulders back, heels against the wall, hips against the wall. Come off the wall, take a step, and keep the weight on your heels. So even if you need to, pop your toes up for a second. Just for a second. Pop your toes up. When you pop your toes up, sit there for about 30 seconds again too. Stay right there. Then find an open space, take about 5 steps with your same position where it's safe, where it feels good. At that point, heel the toe all the way through. And do you think you train your posture balance better when you're going fast or when you're going slow? What do you think?
You're going slow.
Some people say fast and slow. If you said slow, better.
You're more aware.
You're more aware, and you have to slow. You have to feel everything. So I can walk like this all day long because it's quick adjustments. By going slow, then your body has to set everything slowly. Okay, what am I firing? What's going on? Here, same thing. Fire, and then what's going on? Nice and slow. At that point, your muscles fire individually. So fast becomes easier. I'd rather you start slow. Here, 30 seconds, weight on the heels. Heel the toe, take a step, wait for a second, and then come next step too. So when I'm taking that step, I'm rolling my feet to get to the next position. That make sense? When I roll my feet, I'm having to shift my weight from left to right leg, left to right hip, left to right body, slowly. So at that point my body has to fire it individually, so my brain picks it up. When you go slow when you're walking, it feels more uncomfortable because then your brain's going to reset it faster. Use uncomfortableness or off balance a little bit to reset your posture. If you have problems with balance from one too, you can always use a wall as a way to walk and reset your posture too. So go against the wall, just 2 fingers or 1 finger, okay? Against the wall, hold that, just drag it against the wall so your brain sees it as a way to balance your body. I'm going to go here, finger on the wall, take a step, roll my foot forward, hold for a second, take a step, roll my foot forward, hold for a second. So as I roll my feet, my front foot will be more on my flat foot, my back will be more on my toe. Hold for a second, and come back here. Okay, any questions about that? Simple things we can do to reset our posture, but also reset our position in space. When I'm going slow, my brain can pick up my movement, my roll of my feet from heel to toe a lot easier. It's using your cerebellum part of your brain back here, the back of your head, to coordinate your balance, not just your vision. So by doing that, does it prevent falls more? Yes. It allows your body to catch your body faster when you reset your posture slowly. You train your brain to fire faster over time. So by doing this, if I'm going here, heel to toe, forward, here, slower and slower, what's the next difficulty that you would think of that would help my balance without using my vision? What else could I do? I think. Maybe.
Use your hands.
You can,
Balance.
with your eyes open or eyes closed.
Either.
Mm-hmm. I would focus on, that's a good one. I would focus the next one being in between, would be doing the same position here. Instead of walking forward, heel to toe, rolling your feet, I would go backwards, touching the wall to start, to feel comfortable, heel to toe, or sorry, toe to heel, just reverse everything, coming backwards. That's when you're having to use your feet as a way to know where your body is. Okay? That seem like reasonable? Anybody? Good?
Just for stretching those muscles extra.
You're stretching them and also working about here. You're naturally moving the muscle where you feel comfortable, but worrying about, okay, am I going back too far, left and right? So I had one guy come in, and he would do the test here. He would go forward, and he'd go against the wall this way. So I had to have him actually walk a line with hand on the wall, and walk a line slowly, stop, look down, come up, stop, look down, come up, so until his body reset where his feet should go. When we step, our muscles are firing so quick that sometimes our brain can't pick it up. When we go slower, our brain can pick it up faster. We can reset our body faster. Sometimes you'll have this. One side will feel easy, great, not a problem at all. And you switch sides, and all of a sudden you switch sides, and all of a sudden you start doing this. So when you're focusing one thing at a time, then your body can reset what's going on. It's like an algebra equation. The more variables we have, the more it's going to be complicated. Do one thing at a time. Sometimes walking forward may feel easy. One side to the other side. Walk back may feel comfortable. I may go, okay, where am I going? Great, that's what you had to work on. But once you feel comfortable walking backwards, toe to heel, slowly, then step at a time. And that what you can start doing is going forward with your eyes closed. Ooh, crazy. No. It's a process. Okay? By doing this, eyes closed, now we're using just our feet, just our body's balance. We want to make sure when we're here, our body does stay back on your heels. Sometimes we'll do this and go, I feel better here. We don't want to feel better, we want to feel better balance. We want to reset that balance back here. Put your heels, your eyes closed. Take one step. Hold it for a second, roll that foot. Another step. Roll that foot, pause. Another step, roll that foot and pause. Okay, any questions about that? We're trying to trick our brain to make it harder to balance our body. So by doing this, if we were to take a step backwards off a curve, for example, does it make it easier to catch our balance? That's my thing. Can we get our body to relearn faster twitch muscles to catch our balance faster?
That's important.
That, or even ankle, or knee, or hip. Okay, I have another talk where I show people how to get off the floor properly, to get fall on the floor. But that thing is that it's doing things doing them now and training your body doing them now. So when you get in a situation, it doesn't become a problem. There's an old book called Blink, and where, for example, police officers were trained, that were canine officers, were trained to be attacked by a dog with all the gear on, so they wouldn't freak out if they got attacked by a dog. So your brain knows what this is, it stays calm versus becoming in a panic. So can we do things that make us feel uncomfortable? So in a situation, we have to walk backwards, we have to walk, for example, in the dark. We're not going to freak out. Like I do when I see a spider. You know? It's crazy. It's like, oh, what the heck? We got to make sure we're under control that way. Next thing. We're gonna be talking about walking forward, right? Eyes closed, all the way. Good, good, good. Now we're gonna walk. I think we don't know if we did this or not. We're gonna walk backwards with our eyes closed. Okay. Does that make people feel uncomfortable? Yes. To make your body stronger and better. To relearn where our body should be over time versus where we're going to be. Who likes to walk for exercise? I do. I go hiking in the mountains every weekend, hopefully. But if we're walking, like we said, we're walking. If I'm going to go for walks, make sure we set our posture first, make sure we're comfortable initially, and make sure we stay back on our heels. That's when our body learns this. So we're going to sit to watch TV or whatever it is, our body relearns this. This same posture here, standing, is the same exact posture sitting. It's no different. You're on the same area from your hips up that have the same position in your body, back here. Same thing. We're training our body with moving by walking, exercise for walking, so we can sit better, have a stronger back, have more endurance to sit longer, so your body can stay here. That's the plan. Okay. Who has problems with shoulders rolling forward? A lot of people do, right? Okay. You want to get that away?
One that's really always long.
Let's check. Let's see. So against the wall, right here. What's your name?
Jessica.
Jessica. Tony, nice to meet you. Heels, hips, shoulders, head against the wall right here.
I can't.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah,
That's okay. It's here.
The butt is touching the wall.
Yep, that's fine. But it's here versus coming back here. So how do you stretch? How do you make these muscles here in the shoulder? You have your pec muscle in the front, your medial delt, and your posterior delt, just to keep them very simple. What we want to do is make those muscles stretch backwards. So I'm going to have you do against the wall. Sure. What you have to do is bring your arms out like this, and then bring your arms straight back.
Ow.
Ow, yes, I like ow. What's ow means?
It's good.
We're uncomfortable. We're uncomfortable.
That's wall.
Okay.
It's not very nice.
That's sorry, apologize. It's not nice, it's getting better, it's healthy. So here, elbow shoulder height, and coming straight back. Yes, you made the face, perfect, you made the face. I'm hoping for the face.
Gosh, you guys, that's a dad.
So, Jessica, take a break. A stretch before this happens, if that feels too much pressure, too much uncomfortableness, at that point I bring your arms here, elbows to your sides, and now come straight out this way. How's that feel?
Well, that's hard too.
Well, God, I'm going to help you out here. Please, trying to help you out.
No, that's better.
Elbows in.
That's hard.
I'm sorry. Elbows in, Jessica. Here, so elbows in first. Elbows in like this, straight ahead. Now only come out where it feels uncomfortable. Right there, good. I don't have to touch the wall. There's no rule you have to touch the wall.
Yeah, but you have to remember to keep my back back and my butt back.
So the wall helps you set everything, touch the wall, so that's when you sit here. So we work out this, because if I'm off the wall, we talked about before, too many variables. We start doing this. Yeah, I get over it, but they don't. By using the wall as setting your posture overall, then your body can sit there, then come out. Hold, here. And you can only if you may just this. Lock the elbows in, so now only this muscle is working.
Yeah, but I forget.
It's okay, it's time. This isn't a one-day class, this is a life class. Here?
Elbows in, I mean, you had to say it before I
That's
was
okay,
watching.
that's why I said it. I'll send you the video. Watch it again. Repeat. Here, elbows in, out, hold for a second, and come back in. It's work. It's work. So at home, what I would do, Jessica, at home, is do here, take 2 water bottles, any brand you want to use, any brand. Come straight out where it's comfortable. Hold for a second where it's uncomfortable, and relax. Then come back again, 5 times. But make sure the elbows stay in. Make sure they stay in.
Oh.
Don't cheat.
I forgot.
There's a camera somewhere, I don't know. Right there, I think.
But I forgot.
That's okay, it's okay. Hold for a second.
Oh, I forgot about the camera. Oh, darn.
So now second one up here. Again, start down here. And then come up. Hold for a second. And then relax. Breathe. Remember Lamaze.
Oh, I forgot to breathe.
Come all the way down. And then go ahead. Go again. And come all the way up. Hold for a second. Arms up. And then all the way down. Good. How's that feel?
It hurts.
Fantastic. Good. Good. But I want it to feel, and I want to script, I want to base the different levels of. If it hurts, painful, stop.
Oh, no.
But if it feels uncomfortable, yes. So go where it feels comfortable. Hold for a second. Bring those elbows up. And then come down and relax for a second. You got it? So 2 positions. Here, position 1. Elbows tucked in. Out. And the hands out away from the body. With your elbows tucked in. It's called external rotation. Here. Then bring them in. With water bottles. Second position is going to be your arms out. Elbows out horizontal to the body. And then external right again, but now the arms coming back behind you, like that. Takes time. Takes time. It's first day 1.
I thought I was in really good shape.
You are in good shape.
I
But
didn't
you
tell
get in
now.
better shape. And why is stretching so important, you think? Just in general. Why is stretching so important?
Because it starts those muscles loosening up.
Muscles get looser, they can get stronger, right?
Oh, they get strong.
Looser, strong, so you hold your body back here instead of being stuck here. Here, when we go into a flexion, the bones of your spine naturally will cause less motion. You start to lock up. If there's less motion in your spine, the muscles get tighter, they get shorter, and get weaker. Happens over a period of months and years sometimes. So when we set our posture sitting and standing, we go, oh, that's what normal should be. That's my stand, that's where you gotta go. It'll take 3-4 weeks minimum to get that head back more as your shoulders come back. Thank you, Jessica. Appreciate it. Look at that, I like it. Wow, didn't have to even ask for the clap. You got to, wow, you're famous. You're famous here. Okay. Any questions at all? Nothing? How about hips? How do we make the hips a little bit looser? So if my hips are going to be here, either tight sitting or tight standing, I'm naturally bend forward. I got to get them looser. I'm going to use a chair. Okay, a standing lunge here using a chair. I'm going to do, it's kind of low for me, but I'll use it. At that point, I'm come here. I'm going to lean forward a little bit with one foot here, and then come down where I feel comfortable. Hold for a second as my body's back. I'm going to do it. Reset here. I'll bring my foot forward. Side. Foot forward. The weight on my back heel as I do a lunge. Weight on my back heel. Then come down. My body being straight. Hold for a second. Then come back up. Why is the pause important, you think? Why not you see this?
When it performs straight on your...
It makes it contract more efficiently or more specifically in that muscle. I'm going to come down, hold for a second, let my muscles relax for a second here, then come up using the same muscles. And again, weight on your heels so that's when your body stays back straight. When you work out, when you exercise with a good posture position, your brain learns that, relearns that, and it makes that your permanent position. So I'm going to stay back on my heels, come down for a second, then come back up. Maybe about 3 or 4 on one side. Switch sides, other foot, feet flat, both feet front and back foot flat. Body straight again like on the wall. Come straight down, hold for a second, and come that tight calves, and a little bit here, with a wider stance. Come down, hold for a second, and come back up.
Did you lift your heel in the back?
I did a little bit, I have a tight calf. Or prosthetic leg. Okay, here, Jessica, come straight down, hold for a second.
So you're not the back of the...
Yeah, that's not as much as it should be. Here, then come back up. We want to, as far as you can, come back down is the best. If you want to use a chair too, as a way to step up, here, I'd almost want you to use maybe a wall here. Use a wall. Here, take a step, hold for a second, and come back. Take a step, hold for a second, then come back. Using chair to step up allows that when I'm stepping up my left leg, and then I lean forward, my right hip is being stretched. Any questions about that?
Heels down your heels.
Exactly. So as I come up, put my foot flat on the chair, do my left leg, slide forward, my right hip's being stretched, hold for a second, and take a step back and switch sides. Okay. What else do you think can tighten up on the body from poor posture? I'm doing this. How about your side legs? Your hips. People come in all the time saying, I have hip pain. I go, okay, what do you mean by hip pain? Is that different hips? People, I have pain here. And I go, what else is tight? I have pain in my lower back. It's all connected. If my hips are tight, sometimes what I'll do also is people walk like this, with their foot coming out. Feet coming out, almost like a duck or a fish, I don't know what it is. Like that type of stance, okay? Feet coming out. That means your TFL bends, your side muscles. You have your quad muscle, comes across all the way through, one muscle. They break it up in science. Magnus, lateralis, and medius, part of the quad muscle sections. You have a separate muscle called your TFL on both sides. Tension fasciae lata, another name for it, but tension fasciae lata is the biggest in TFL. Connects from below your knee, through on the side, to your hip. That tightens up, you're going to have hip pain. You can make those muscles looser. It makes sense where if they're tight, they're going to pull you out like this. When you take a step, you're like, it hurts when you take a step. Got to loosen those muscles up. Okay? So make guess.
When is the best time to exercise? Like in the evening or when you shortly after you get up? Morning.
I'm a morning guy.
Is it just your...
Because your body's tight from sleeping. That's my time I have time for. But your body's going to be tight from sleep because you're not moving when you're sleeping. That point in the mornings when you want to stretch the most. where you get your day started.
Okay.
What I do in the morning, I hit my coffee maker. I have an old pop coffee maker and stretch for 15 minutes. As a roller, I do all the stretch you're talking about now. I even use a stick too. That's my routine. Some people like stretch in the evening. Evening, I'm just tired, go to bed. But you do in the morning when it's your first thing you get up in the morning, it's done for the day. You can enjoy your day that way. Once we get up in the morning, I have 2 kids at home and I have a wife. My dog, once they get up, my day's done. Take the dog for a walk, take the trash out. Take the trash out twice a day. Do this, the other. Okay, so it's hard to plan. So my morning in the morning, hit the coffee maker, and then stretch for 15 minutes. That's because we're sleeping, we naturally will tighten up. That's almost the best time too. Everyone's different. That's what I think that's the best time to do it. While I'm still at my house, everyone's still asleep, I can get it done before the sun comes up. I work out at 5:30 in the morning every day. I'm out of the house by 5:15. I go. You might have to nap every day too, so I'm not like Superman. I think. So, good question. What's your name?
My name? Alma.
Alma? Alma, thank you, Alma, for the question. So if my hips are tight here, meaning hips here, and also down the legs too, I gotta stretch those out. Okay? I'm gonna do a sit in a chair. Simple one here, hopefully. Cross my ankles over my knee. Just like this. That's why I wore my cool socks today, so you guys can see my cool socks. Okay? All I'm gonna do is pull my knee toward my opposite shoulder. So figure 4 with my leg. It's like this. But in this one, I want to be back against the chair, so my back stays straight the whole time. Here, pull my knee, opposite shoulder, stretch that whole muscle here. And Jessica, how far should you stretch, you think?
Until it hurts.
Yes.
That's what it's doing right now.
Good job. Where it feels I want to say uncomfortable. If it's painful, it hurts, that's like a form of senior abuse. Let's not use that word for the camera. All right? So hold that for about 15 seconds on that side. Switch sides if you want to, and see which side for you is a little bit tighter. Mine usually is the right. Mine's the right side normally. Yeah. Here. Yeah, make sure your body stays back. Doesn't do this. It's cheating. Don't lean forward. Stay back and bring it across your body. So that one goes the opposite shoulder. Is that okay, sir? Good? All right. 15 seconds. Mine is the right side. Who's more the right side? Tight. Yes, on my team. Perfect. Right side of the team. Perfect. Okay? We got to make sure our body stays loose. This is something you can do. In the chair, sitting there, boom, quick stretch. So, and like you mentioned too, almost stretch in the morning. But if you're sitting there watching TV, why not stretch then? Sit in the afternoon, watch TV, stretch then. Every time you have time to stretch, your body's staying looser for the next day. It's not today worry about it, it's tomorrow, it's tomorrow, it's tomorrow. Can I have a routine so my body learns to stay loose? Versus being, if I do once a week, not going to do much. If I do it only when it's tight, not going to do much. I want to do a routine so my body learns to stay loose, stay uncomfortably loose. That point it can avoid injury. And a looser muscle is a stronger muscle. It builds up more endurance. It'll last longer when we're sitting over standing. All right?
Looser muscle.
A looser muscle is a stronger muscle. That will over time build up endurance. Looser, stronger than endurance. If my spine's moving normally, my joints are moving normally, instead of being tight, you're naturally going to cause more flexibility, more looseness, naturally cause more strength, that over time cause more endurance. That's how the body works. We're so used to just not moving enough that when we do move enough, it hurts. So what do? We move less. We do less. We lift up stuff less. We avoid this because we'd rather drive there instead of walking there, and we just walked there before because it hurts. We got to go. Is that pain or is that uncomfortable because my body's too tight? Any questions though? Easy. We can talk about a second ago too. Easy stretch for your calf muscle. If your calves are tight. What's an easy stretch for you to do? What do you think? I like that one. Right here. Bring your leg out. Lock the knee out. If you want to even use like either a belt or a band on your foot, just pull your foot toward you.
You have to sit on the edge of your chair.
Yes, edge of the chair. First, third. And lock. What we want to do first is always lock the knee out, because your calf muscle attaches above your knee and attaches at your heel.
Feel it.
Yeah.
If you feel it, then you gotta stretch.
The more you're on the edge of your chair, the more you
The
feel.
more you feel that, yep.
I don't want it.
It just makes make sure your knee stretch out more extension on your knee.
Oh, I see. Oh,
Yeah. That one. So if you can't reach your toe, unlike me where you don't have long arms, I have I guess weird long arms. At that point, get a band or a belt and just hold that stretch for about 15-20 seconds. Loose your calf. What is a loose your calf avoids cramps, right? In your calf. Also helps your arch and your heel of your foot not cause heel pain or plantar fasciitis. Your calf muscle, actually what your calf muscle does, it goes from being a calf muscle to a tendon to a fascia that wraps all around here. So if your calf is tight at all, it'll naturally cause plantar fasciitis and or heel pain. So I'll do that with patients. I'll go, hey, how's your foot doing? Good. How's your calf doing? It's tight. Let's make your calf looser. Help that heel first before we start doing inserts and everything else in the foot. Just hold that stretch out. Holding your toe if you can. 15-20 seconds on both sides. Again, the morning is the best before you start walking, moving things around. That's what it comes down to, Ava. All right? Any questions at all? This is Q&A time. You won't see me for 4 weeks. Yes, Deb.
So I just have a question. I'm constantly like turning, pages like this or like off the board like this. Any suggestions?
So are you turning your body or are you doing this over here?
Both.
No. So if I'm doing this here, I want to make sure my body's here. I'm using my feet to turn more than just twisting my body.
Okay.
This is called pivoting. So if I'm going to pivot, let's say I'm working over here on the wall. What do you teach?
Yeah.
Good. If I'm teaching, I want to make sure I'm moving my feet over here, moving my feet over here, so my body's staying more in line with what I'm working on. If it's possible. If you're sitting, it's
Not
kind of tough.
twisting.
When you're sitting, and you almost want to do this when I'm sitting, is make sure I'm stepping out first and doing this. Make sure I'm moving my legs out here and doing this. So I'm not causing a twist in the next one. We talked about before, we cause a twist in the back of the twist, but naturally bend also, making that back one sometimes tweak or lock up. That's what I worry about. So it's possible, make sure we pivot so what we're working on is between our knees all the way through. So that quick second. All right, that help?
Yeah, because I'm always worried about extending, pulling, and then coming. Like I'm always worried about that. And I just think,
And it's almost, if I'm going to do that here, so what do you mean when you're working, are you having to extend out and pull?
yeah. So like we're constantly like turning a page to a large book
got it.
because easel. You're sitting here. You have to be out of the way. You can't be in front of the.
Yeah.
So you're turning, like pulling over to this side to pull it over.
So much fun. My mother's in the library, she's this librarian. So she's been doing storytelling on Zoom all the time. I do that all the time. It's almost like, it's hard because you have to stay behind, like you say, you have to see the book or whatever it is, the easel. That when you almost have to come over here and then make sure you're far enough over, even support if you're using this hand, support your body weight with this hand here. So I'm coming here and then coming across.
Okay.
Using your whole body so your low back doesn't just work. If I'm going to come up, if I have someone that has a really bad low back right now, the back is it's really weak and painful on just the one side. So what I have to do when they get out of the chair is do this and push up this way.
Okay.
So for yours it'd be okay, if I'm working over here and I have to kind of pull something or reach further, I'm going to sit myself with this hand, my opposite hand, so I'm here and then going this way. That make sense?
Yeah.
So I'll do that, or if you're standing or sitting, make sure you're staying between your knees.
Make sure you're.
Make sure you're staying between the knees. So you're pivoting this way if I'm here or if I'm here.
Got it.
And I like that to support yourself with your body weight on the arm so you're not having to just use your back.
Okay.
And twist. Good. What grade do you teach?
TK.
Good luck. I don't know.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, bless your heart. It's so much energy. Just energized money is just everywhere. I just go to classroom and I go there for like my daughter's class and 20 minutes I go there just to come volunteer and observe. I'm exhausted. 20 minutes, I'm done. I'm going to take a nap. Done. So, again, passion and a saint. Thank you, Eva. Any other questions? That's it. That's it for my talk book. This is a quick one today. More about, okay, how do you go home now and set your postures on the wall? Do a couple steps off the wall, maybe touching the hands on the wall. Back and forth 3 or 4 steps. Forward and backwards. Eyes open, eyes closed. When you sit where you're uncomfortable on the first third of the chair. Knees below your hips. Feet underneath you, so now you feel off balance, get better balance. And work those muscles more. Talked about the one Jessica demoed for us on the wall with our elbows next to you and coming straight out. About 5 of those with water balls in your hands. Hold, and again, if you need to, just go here. That's it. I'd rather you go a shorter range of motion and have you bring your elbows out, Jessica did too, which I scolded her on, and just keep your elbows in the whole time. All right? Same thing. Second exercise, elbow shoulder height. That will bring those arms down, rotate them backwards behind you, touch the wall or not. So that's when we get those shoulders to stretch themselves out. So our whole body goes into extension, not into flexion. So here, down again, elbows down. Relax them for a second, come back up again. Bring your hands above your head. Good hold for a second, then relax. So again, when we do these exercises, you never want to bounce. Bouncing allows the joints to cause more pressure. You lose that tension. So when I'm on the wall here, elbows up or down, I want muscles to feel that tension and hold it for a second and reset so my brain picks that up too. The brain is where we want to reset our posture, our balance, and our position. Let the cerebellum work, even with your eyes closed or walking backwards, then your body resets itself over time. If you stand, sit better, have better strength sitting or standing, better endurance, then you avoid falling more. Less risk. Okay? Any other questions at all?
All these leg
Good.
exercises are very good for your sciatic nerve.
It is. Helps your sciatic nerve, and what the question, sciatic nerve by definition is this nerves here in your back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forming one trunk. Now that's called the sciatic nerve. Travels down the hip, down the back of the leg. If you have leg pain, to the groin, the front of the leg, to the foot. It can be pain, numbness, weakness, can be a lot of symptoms. But by causing that stretch here too, besides the TFL band, because that sciatic nerve runs through that TFL muscle and glute muscle, allow you to stretch the whole area. So you're allowing the muscles to stretch, help that nerve relax by doing that stretch. Hold that side, both sides, 15 seconds. All right? Anything else for our post-COVID first talk of the year? Anything? We're good? So I'll leave those out for a second. If anyone wants my email, or give me their email, I'll send you this video when I post it to YouTube, a link to it, and or anything else you want exercises on. Okay? What I do in my office is I give exercises to all my patients. My patients, they have a back problem. They get actually emailed to a demo like this,